Hey guys, it's Braden from Team 2 Bananas. I recently went to a locals event, and I wanted to have a little bit of fun, so I
Did
built...
you get first place?
I wouldn't really say that. There wasn't a lot of people.
Oh, there's 17 people. It's pretty good.
I mean, yeah, we'll go with that. But I played a deck that's
Be
not
proud
really...
of yourself, man.
I'm playing a deck that's not really played a lot anymore. It's not really considered meta. I'm playing Spellbooks. I played pure Spellbooks. I like the fact of being able to search for all my combo pieces. Even with Ash Blossom, I have so many other options. The only thing that really stopped me was Droll. But I was still able to get around it and survive for the turn because I have my own hand traps. So let's go and get started with the deck profile. Okay. I started with 2 Spellbook Magician of Prophecy. It was originally, actually it was at 3. But I ended up getting rid of one to a buddy of mine. He was trying to build the deck. And he's been playing Spellbook since Return of the Duelist came out. So I figured I'd help him out by finishing up his max rarity on it. So this card's really good because of the fact that it's basically your searcher. You just normal this, you search for a secret and get your plays going immediately. I played 3 Temperance of Prophecy. This card's really good because whenever you play this card, if you've played a Spellbook card before, after, whenever, it doesn't even matter. As long as the card has the board that turn and you played one, you contribute this and summon a bigger monster, which you would normally either summon World of Prophecy or High Priestess, which I actually traded off my World of Prophecy too.
Why are they different color sleeves?
Well, when I played the deck, it was at 45. These were actually in my side deck. I moved them over to the main deck as a last-minute decision. And the reason why they're in different sleeves is because of the fact that 2 of my sleeves actually got broken at the event, so I had to switch them out with cards that were actually with other cards in my side deck. So I just kind of haven't switched them back yet.
So I just wanted. I know people would call us out on that.
Yeah.
Team 2 Bananas being legit.
I played 3 High Priestess of Prophecy. This card is this is the boss monster of the deck, besides World of Prophecy, which unfortunately I can't show you in this deck profile. This card's really good because you can play it by revealing 3 cards, 3 Spellbook cards, and just dropping it, or you can use Temperance to bring it out, or you use just tribute summoning it. It's really good. It pops. You banish one to pop a card, which sets up your Eternity play, and then it just keeps going on and on and on.
How does that card deal with things like Masterpiece or the Spirals cards?
With Masterpiece, so you have stuff like Spellbook Star Hall. What that does is basically giving them the 100 attack for each Spellbook that's been played. Basically, you have to bait out the Masterpiece of Destruction for it to blow up a card, so that way your Star Hall stays active.
How would you recommend baiting it out?
Well, you use cards like what I did against it was I was just setting cards, and of course people get paranoid over back row. So I was setting cards like Upstart Goblin and stuff like that, and they were just destroying it. Or I would set like Field Destruction, and they would just blow it up with Masterpiece. So they would basically waste their negation, and then with it being unaffected by monster effects, it kind of sucks. But with Star Hall being active, that makes this card plus Spellbook of Power. You can get this card up to 5,000-6,000 attack and just swing over a Masterpiece.
It's pretty godly.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Going into the spells. I played 1 Spellbook of Power. I do have an English translation here just because this one's foreign. This card is probably one of the best cards, but it is only played at 1 because of the fact you recycle it over and over again with Spellbook of Tower.
But isn't it a little slow, though, because it's spell speed 1?
Not really, because of the fact that it does more than just a power boost. What this does is, of course, it gives it 1,000 power, and then it searches whenever it kills a monster. You get a free search off of it. One of the better cards in this set, or in this deck. And it's just really good, especially when you use like High Priestess, or when you kill a monster with a Blue Boy. You just feel so happy when you kill that monster with a Blue Boy and get a search. It's just one of the really better cards. I played, obviously, 3 Spellbook of Secrets and 3 Spellbook of Knowledge. Of course, Knowledge being the newest one to come out.
Beautiful rarity, beautiful rarity.
Beautiful rarity, man. I tried to max rarity this deck as much as I could. Spellbook of Secrets, of course, is your main searcher besides Blue Boy. You can even use this to search Blue Boy. You have to keep the combos rolling, and then, of course, Spellbook of Knowledge, use it for the extra draw power, getting rid of the Blue Boy. Or any of them, for that matter, because they're all spellcasters. So, just going from there. 3 Spellbook Towers. I gotta find the third one. 3 Spellbook Towers. A field spell. You do not play Terraforming in this deck.
How come?
Because of the fact that it's searchable off of Spellbook of Secrets, Spellbook of Master, Blue Boy. This is searchable with so many cards in the deck. Terraforming is just a waste.
Makes sense.
This card's amazing. During the standby phase, you literally get to put any of them back that you wish, any Spellbook spell, put it back in the deck and draw a card.
Question, how expensive is this deck without having max rarity for newer players who want to...
Depending, cause some of these did come different rarities, like Spellbook or High Priestess came Ultra, this came Gold Rare, This came ultra rare. These, unfortunately, they only came ultra rare, and they're selling about $15 a piece.
So for someone who's trying to build a budget version of this deck, could you actually acquire these cards easily without having to break your bank?
Yeah, you definitely could. The only card that would be really expensive to get would be the Spellbook of Knowledges. Okay. And besides the hand traps like Ghost Ogre, Ash Blossom, stuff
Obviously,
like that,
those are
gonna
for,
be,
you know.
those are gonna be for the expensive cards if you're not playing budget. But like I said, you see Spellbook of Power came common. You've got this came ultra rare. This came gold rare. This came ultra rare. Temperance only came super, but it's super cheap. Blue Boys came ultras. They came ultras out of the original set, and they came ultras out of the Battles of Legend.
Okay.
So stuff like that. A lot of the other cards in here came a lot lower rarity, and I can definitely explain that as I keep going through the video.
Cool. I just wanted for people who want to build the deck without having to break bank and.
Yeah. It's definitely affordable. It's a budget deck if you're looking to have a little bit of fun. I played 2 of the Crescents. This also came as a rare, so out of the set, which is actually really good. This is actually a really good card if you draw it in your opening hand, because you get to search for 3. 3 Spellbook cards, one chosen at random, the other 2 are shuffled into the deck versus going to the graveyard, so you still have an opportunity to play them. This one just adds 1 to hand. And of course, its condition is you can't have any in the graveyard, so you want to play this first.
Okay.
1 Spellbook of Life. This is basically a premature burial for the deck. The only difference is the paying is different, but it's kind of like you can just bring one out of the grave as long as you have you banish a spell, you banish a spellbook card, and then reveal, or you banish a spellcaster, reveal a spellbook card, special summon 1, and then if this dies, it doesn't kill the monster.
Oh, cool.
It's really good. Another deck that you could also play this with would be like Invoked, because they're all spellcasters. I played 2 Spellbook of Wisdoms. This is the spell. Basically, it's kind of like you're trying to become a masterpiece at this point. You play these, you can either make them unaffected by spells or unaffected by traps. Of course, it's quick play, so say they were Geki, you can just chain this.
Pretty good, pretty good.
2 Spellbook of Eternity. This one just gets a banished card, banished Spellbook spell out of the banished zone, put it back in hand. Really good, especially when you're using Spellbook of Fate, Priestess, something like that. And then my last 2, these are my favorite Spellbook cards to use. Spellbook of the Master at 3, Spellbook of Fate at 3. Master is basically it's the copycat. You reveal a spellbook as long as you control a spellcaster monster, and then you reveal a spellbook card. You get the copy one out of the graveyard. It doesn't care about the conditions of the cards. Just say like Spellbook of the Crescent, where you have to have them. It says you have to have 0 engraved to use it. This doesn't care about that. It only cares about the searching for 3, so you can just do it without paying its cost or having the conditions. Spellbook of Fate, another one of the best cards. Of course, like I said, I try to max rarity this deck. This came Ultra as well, and these came Super. So, of course, like I said, this deck's really affordable. This is really good because it does not target. So if you're playing against a Masterpiece, or not Masterpiece because they can make it immune to spells, but if you're playing against like Spiral Resort, Spiral Last Resort, anything that prevents targeting like Cosmo, this doesn't. The third effect on here does not target. So you can banish anything and not have to worry about a targeting effect.
Pretty good, pretty good.
Now for the extra cards, let's just put in for example. I played the Sullen Brigade. I played 2 strikes and then 1 warning.
Why not 3 strikes?
3 strikes. I just felt because you may be paying a lot of life points, but at the same time you might end up at the point where you're stuck with a blue boy and then this becomes useless. But there's a point where all these can become useless. But at the same time, 3 strikes as well as all this removal doesn't really need 3 strikes in my opinion.
Okay.
I played 1 Upstart. Of course, it's being at 45 cards. I still like Upstart in this deck.
How come?
Because of the fact that in case I brick, this will get me out of that situation. It may give your opponent 1,000 life points, but if your Priestess or whatever is just giving you, basically is as big as it can be, even with Star Hall on board, you should be fine. 1 Regeki. Of course, this is board wipe. I don't play Dark Hole because I don't want to lose my monsters.
Makes sense.
2 Pot of Desires. Obvious draw power. You play a lot of 3-ofs in the deck. Plus, the cool thing is that even if you use Desires, what I've read online, you can use Eternity, targeting one of your face-down Spellbook cards.
Oh, that's pretty good.
So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but that's just what I've read online. That's kind of what I went with. And then hand traps, I played 7, 1 Max C, 3 Ghost Ogres, and 3 Ash Blossom. Obvious in every deck as far as high rarity goes. And if this deck being expensive as it is, you definitely want to have these. Otherwise, it's not really going to work. Because you want to be able to stop your opponent. Going to the extra deck, this deck doesn't really play a lot of extra deck cards. Mainly all of these are going to be Ash targets. or Reaper targets. So Double Helix, ABC Dragon Buster, number 39, Utopia the Lightning, Tornado Dragon. I actually played 2 ABC Busters because there were times where they would use Omega and put it back. So I would just banish him again. Gaia Saber, Warlord, Deco Talker, Proxy Dragon. Again, all Reaper targets. I don't really need an extra deck with this.
What about the Spellbook Xyz Monster?
I didn't really like it. It's really slow because that means you lose 2 of your priestesses. And there's not really a way to get them back except with Spellbook of Life. I would rather not just have to deal with that situation.
Okay.
Going into the side deck, I played 2 mistakes. This kind of hurt me a little bit going into one of my later rounds because of the fact of trying to search with Spellbook of Secrets, and this actually got played against me. Of course, playing Twin Twister, Cosmic Cyclone would probably been a better option, but it just kind of shot me down. But yeah. The 2 Reaper Winter Cherries, obviously, because of my extra deck.
Why only 2? Some people run 3 or 1.
You could play 3. I felt that 2 was perfectly okay, but like I said, I was also playing Mistake, which is something I would take out. So I might put this up to 3. Another thing I would definitely put in here would probably be like Gammas and a Driver.
Okay.
As well as putting an Omega in the extra deck, because of the fact of being able to get monster effects is really great. 2 Artifact Lancias. Prevent Banishing, True Draco, ABC, Spiral, just negate this banishing altogether. Triple Droll and Lockbird. I'm contemplating if I should have mained this. I side decked it, it did pretty well because a lot of decks do search, but I was able to stop them with Ash, so I didn't really have to worry about it. 3 Evenly Matched, because there are times where I end up with just 1 card on board. So I'll just set this as bait, and then they'll go into their plays and make a big board, and I'll just evenly match them, leave everything but and then my High Priestess next turn will take care of what's left. So it was just really good. 2 Cosmic Cyclones for board removal. True Draco, definitely, for board removal. And then the last one was Skill Drain. Because even with Skill Drain on board, I'll still get the attack power from Star Hall and stuff like that, which unfortunately I don't have anymore, so I can't show it in the video. But you definitely play that at 1 to 2. Even at 3 if you're feeling very... froggy about it. Skill Drain's really good because of the fact of, like, if you've played against, like, Zoo, which is still a thing, or you play against Masterpiece, and this is already on board, it'll still have its effects negated, even if you try to make it immune to traps, because this is already active.
So what are some of your hardest matches with the deck?
Hardest matchup would definitely be True Draco, because of the fact of, if they get out Masterpiece turn before I can even do anything, they can stop my entire play.
What about Sleeper? Isn't Sleeper kind of a threat to you? Or?
Well, not really, because of the fact that I can. He'll be like activate effect, and I'll just fade it and get rid of it completely.
Okay.
So that's my Prophecy deck profile. Like I said, I definitely love this deck. It's one of my favorite decks. But I do want to thank you guys for checking out this video. If you have any questions, leave some comments down below. Don't forget to check out more videos and subscribe, guys. Thanks.